Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Zach from OnCashflow.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to retire by age 30. All right, so this is going to be a pretty quick video on how to retire by age 30. Obviously, if you're already age 30 or over, you think that this is not going to apply to you, but it does. I just put 30 on there just because what's going to work for someone under 30 is going to work for someone over 30 in most circumstances. So this video can actually apply to anyone who wants to retire in a short amount of years. At the time I'm making this, I am 25 years old, so I'm actually 5 years away from being age 30. And retiring by age 30 is actually a goal of mine. Now, first thing what I need to do is actually define what retirement is. Okay, so when I talk about retiring, I might not be exactly talking about what most people would define as retirement. When most people think of the word retirement, they think of someone in their golden years that's been working at a job for 30, 40 plus years. They retire, they stop working completely from that job, or any other job for that matter, and then they maybe draw Social Security and just live the rest of their life that way. Now, when I talk about retirement, it's a little bit different, okay? When I talk about retirement, what I mean by that is actually making it synonymous with the word financial independence. So financial independence and retirement, when I discuss both of those, they're synonymous. It means the same thing. And it actually means not having to work for money. So in order to achieve that, you actually have to have enough investments, bringing in enough money to replace your spending. So you wouldn't have to rely on any work income. Doesn't mean you can't work. It means that you don't have to work for the money. Like, you can support yourself without the need to work. By no means does this mean that you won't work or you won't produce or you won't ever make any money again. It simply means that you wouldn't have to technically by using the 4% rule. And just a quick recap on the 4% rule, the 4% rule states that you can withdraw up to 4% of your assets per year and live off of that. Your assets should last you for the rest of your life, or at least statistically speaking, it most likely will last you for the rest of your life. Okay, so now that we've defined what retirement is, when I'm talking about retiring by age 30, the first thing that I want to give to you is that you're going to have to live well below your means. Okay, now it also depends on how long you have until you reach age 30. So if you're 18 and you're trying to reach retirement by age 30, it's going to be a lot easier than if you're my age, 25, and trying to reach retirement by age 30, assuming that you start from ground zero, which is a zero net worth. Now, if you're starting from negative, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, obviously, but it can still be done. And what I mean by live well below your means is that you're going to have to save a significant amount of your income and put that towards investments. Significant being defined as 50% plus of your income. Okay. Now, when most people say live within your means, that simply means that you don't spend more than you make. Now, I think that should be common knowledge. That should be pretty obvious. If you're spending more than you make, you're obviously going negative every day, every month, every week, whatever. So instead, what you want to do is you want to live well below your means. So if your income is $80,000 a year, you want to live well below $80,000 a year, instead of living, say, $79,000 a year spending and $1,000 a year saved. You're technically living within your means, but you're not really getting anywhere when it comes to retirement. Now, if instead you were living on $30,000 a year and you were investing $50,000 a year, I would consider that living well below your means, and you will be on your track towards early retirement. So, which brings me to my next point. Now that you're living well below your means, all that extra money has to go somewhere. So you're going to have to make smart investment decisions. And for me, my favorite investment decision is index funds. So low or no fee index funds. So I'm not going to touch too much on that right now. But basically, I think they're the best investment for me, and they might be right for you. So do your own research on that. I am not an investment advisor, but that is personally what I do. And I hold strongly to the belief that index funds will get me to retirement. So those first two you might hear a lot of people talk about, live well below your means and then invest the rest, right? But number three, what I believe you also need to have is you also need to have a really good reason for why you want to retire. So you want to have something to retire to, not just to retire from. So if you hate your job and you just want to get out of your job, that's not actually a good reason to seek financial independence or to retire. You actually want to have something afterwards that you're going to be doing, whether it be a hobby, whether it be spending time with your family, it be traveling, or maybe self-employment, anything. Whatever you are passionate about or whatever you think fulfills you is something that you should be looking forward to when you retire. Have that in your mind, and that is going to be a very powerful reason for you to stick with it. Which brings me to my next point. You have to be consistent. All right, consistency will make you become an expert in anything, and consistency will always bring you rewards in pretty much everything you do. Whatever you're consistently doing is whatever you consistently put in is what you're gonna consistently get out in most cases. And that's the same thing when it comes to retiring by age 30. So if you are following those first 3 rules, you live well below your means, you invest the difference, and you have a reason why you want to do it, that's all going to be, and you consistently do that, you'll be able to retire by age 30. That is just a quick overview on how you can retire by age 30. In the future, I do want to make a long and in-depth video on this because it's really exciting stuff. And of course, all these basic concepts bring up many questions that need to be answered. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Zach from OnCashFlow.com. And before you leave, please click the link in the description below. I wrote a full article on how to retire by age 30. It discusses what I talked about here, but in a lot more detail, and I think it's going to be really beneficial for you. Thanks for watching.